Some parents of students in Leeds Elementary School in Alabama were in for a shock when their children came home with a permission slip seeking consent to administer corporal punishment. The slip also said that failure to return the form would be considered authorization, permission, in other words. Corporal punishment is legal in 19 states. So is it a fair way for schools to discipline students? Here for a fair and balanced debate are blogger and author of Mean Mom's Rule, Denise Schipani, and Senior Fellow for Policy Studies at the Family Research Center, Peter Sprigg. Thanks for being here, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Peter, would you sign a permission slip allowing teachers to administer corporal punishment to your child?
I personally might not, but that's because I would want the school to notify me of the disciplinary infraction, and I might administer corporal punishment at home in response to that. But I certainly understand that there are some parents who see this as a legitimate form of punishment and are perfectly happy to delegate their authority and right to use disciplinary spanking to the school as a way of supporting the methods of discipline that they use at home.
Denise, in places where corporal punishment is outlawed, in those states, it's surprising for those of us who live there to hear that in 19 states it's still legal and it's still happening in public schools.
Yes.
This was a public elementary school. You are a mommy blogger. Do you think that there are some cases, obviously there are some kids who are very disruptive. Do you think that there are some cases where teachers should be hitting kids?
No, I don't. In fact, I think it's never right to hit a child, whether it's at home or definitely not in school. These kids are looking to their teachers as role models, as people they should be looking up to. And I feel as though teachers have so many weapons in their arsenal to keep control of the classroom that resorting to physical violence just seems like the bad message to send.
You know, Peter, we talk all the time about how it's sort of irresponsible for parents to outsource so much parenting to schools or to the state government. So why outsource this kind of discipline?
I don't see this as outsourcing discipline. This is allowing the school during the hours when the school has authority over your child to exercise discipline over the child. When the child is at home, they're under your authority and you have the power to decide the discipline. I think that ultimately the decision should be up to the parents, but because there was a form sent home allowing the parents to make that choice, I don't see that the school did anything wrong here.
Now, again, as we said in the intro, the form it was implied that if you do not send the form back, then you give your tacit permission. Denise, I mean, again, this speaks to some parents. Some things are sometimes lost in the backpack.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you don't see all of those forms.
Right. That's the first thought I had, that my kids come home with piles of papers and there might be things that I don't see. And I also feel as though if there's a problem with my child in school, I'd rather the teacher come in and talk to me or have me come in and talk to them. I just think hitting a child is just never, ever the right way to handle things.
Peter, does it change your opinion that this is okay to learn of the study that came out last year, a fairly comprehensive study from the American Journal of Pediatrics that found that there was a link between corporal punishment and mental disorders in kids? It increased anxiety and depression in children.
The problem with studies like that address quote-unquote corporal punishment is that they lump together ordinary disciplinary spanking with beating, whipping, and other more abusive forms of corporal punishment. Studies which actually separate out ordinary disciplinary spanking, as most parents practice it, do not show that there are negative effects.
Peter Sprigg, Denise Schipani, thanks so much for the debate. I would love to hear what our viewers have to say about this topic. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Camerata. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.